Okay, everyone, you've all seen it. The Benson Boone quilted vest, the Chelsea Porter magic. I could not stop watching those videos. The creativity, the confidence, the absolute vibe of it all. And guess what? I am in the Quilter on Fire studio right now, hopping online here to have a chat with Chelsea Porter herself to talk about how that viral moment came to life, what's happened over the last couple days since the concert, and how she's handling the whirlwind. This is a special bonus episode of the Quilter on Fire podcast, and it's already up on YouTube as well. Go subscribe to the Quilter on Fire podcast. It's already up on YouTube as well. And YouTube is the place to go if you want to see the latest and greatest with the Quilter on Fire. And you'll see the conversation that everybody's talking about. Today, I'll have a chat with Chelsea Porter. Hello and welcome to a very special bonus episode of the Quilter on Fire podcast. You know I'm usually booked solid for months in advance, but every once in a while something happens in the quilting world that just stops me in my tracks. That's exactly what happened when I saw Chelsea Porter's now legendary vest for Benson Boone. I went down the rabbit hole, the before and afters, the reactions, the behind the scenes, and I knew immediately I had to talk to her. Today we're diving into Chelsea's story, her creativity, her process, and how this moment changed everything. And yes, you can watch this full conversation on YouTube, so head over to Quilter on Fire on YouTube, hit subscribe, and be the very first to see every inspiring moment unfold. So let's explore the story of Chelsea Porter. Chelsea, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, I'm so happy to have you here. Oh my gosh, Chelsea. These last few days have been so exciting for you. And we're going to get right into the story. This only happened on Thursday. Does it all still seem like a dream?
Yeah, I don't think I've slept either. So for sure.
Okay, I want you to take us back to the very beginning. So, how big of a Benson Boone fan are you?
Okay, I am a big Benson Boone fan. I am being labeled as a super fan, and I think right now I probably am because of where we're at. But like, I was a very big Benson Boone fan. I paid, for floor tickets, but
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So what made you decide I'm going to this concert? I got floor tickets. I'm going to make him something to wear.
right. So I guess I should kind of back up a little bit.
Yeah.
It was my friend. My friend said, I got these floor tickets. I have, this many. Who's coming? And I said, pick me. I love Benson. I want to go see Benson.
Yeah.
So I snatched that ticket up and we got to go. And I sat there and I was like, wait, I'm typically a nosebleeds kind of girl.
Yeah.
I'm rarely on the floor anywhere. And I'm like, this is Benson Boone. Like, he's incredible. He's so fun and lively in his outfits. I was like, I want to make him something. If I'm right there, something could happen. And so I was like, oh, I'm going to make him a quilt. And then it was like, wait, I probably can't take a quilt into a venue. They're not going to let me do it. So then I was like bummed. And I'm like, wait a second. If I can't take a quilt, I could take a piece of clothing. I need to make him a quilted vest. And that's kind of where it all came to, is like, how do I make him something and get it into the venue? And that's when it dawned on me. He wears vests. He needs one of my vests.
So how did you decide what exactly to make and whose pattern is it?
Well, that is such a good question. I knew that I wanted to make Benson something with a collar. I was like, this vest has to stand out. And the only way to do that is to do a collar. So I started searching the internet for like Peter Pan collars.
Yeah.
I stumbled across a pattern by Small Museum. She has so many cute patterns. I want to make them all.
Yeah.
And she has this really beautiful women's coat with the collar. And I decided I can get that pattern. I know it's a women's pattern, but I can get it and I can tweak it to fit a man. And I can make it suit my needs. So that's the pattern. I've changed it a bunch, but that was my jumping off point.
So tell us a little bit about, well, you made it into a vest. That's pretty obvious, but tell us what you did on the collar, because you did a whole bunch of special things on there.
Oh, yeah. Well, I just was like, I want this collar, but how do I make the collar stand out in front of all of that funky patterned fabric and the quilting?
Yeah.
And I decided, oh my gosh. And, my followers were very heavily involved in this. We did so many lives where we just talked about these things. And so it was with my followers that we were like, we need to take the scraps from the quilt blocks and use those to make the collar. but we need to make it different. So we had the idea of stripes. And I'm like, well, stripes aren't going to be, they won't lay correctly on something more circular. So
Yeah.
I bought a special 10-degree triangle ruler and I
Yeah.
used that and I'm like, it's stripes, but it's triangles.
It's
And
kind of like this fan, right, around the neck.
yes, that's it's a fan of fabric. And then we just kind of snowballed. And I'm like, the pattern, the Small Museums pattern has a ruffle.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, the ruffle could be a nice break
Yeah.
between the cotton outfit. And I came across some music note fabric and my brain was just fireworking with ideas. And so I put the music note fabric as the ruffle.
Yeah.
And then once again, I'm talking with my followers and I had this idea of like, oh my gosh, we need to put, we need a foundation paper piece, his name on it. And I had all these ambitions. And I was like, Chelsea, the concert's like tomorrow. Like we can't do that. Let's get patches.
Yeah.
So I overnighted some patches and sewed those on to have that Benson on the back.
Oh, that is so great. And you posted the whole make of this vest, which was so awesome on your Instagram. When you decided to do it and you sort of announced it to the world, were you freaking out inside, like in your head? Like, what was running through your mind when you were like, okay, if I tell everybody I'm going to do it, I got to do it?
Part of the reason why I tell people what I'm going to do, because I need the encouragement to do what I say I'm going to do.
Yeah, so cool. So, how long did it take you to make the vest?
It probably took me about 2 weeks, and
Oh,
that's
that's
not necessarily like 2 weeks of every day working on it. I'm a mom of three young boys. They're 5, 4, and 2. Okay, so I had my niece come babysit for me so I could work. That was nap times. That was after bedtime. That was the weekend when my husband would take them on an outing so I could have some time to sew. But it took me 2 weeks.
Yeah, it was so satisfying to binge watch everything because, it was taking so long to get all the pieces together, do all the patchwork and everything. And then when you had them all cut out and ready to start putting the garment together, you said this comment like, this is going to come together so fast. And I was like, what? This looks like it took forever. But yeah, you were getting near the end. It was so exciting. So you didn't just make it, you also rallied your followers to help you get his attention. So you were asking them everything from how to quilt it. Should it be hearts? Should it be musical notes? And you're asking them to tag him in the comments. So do you think that made a difference?
So I have some ideas because how do I say this? My videos did not take off.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought that by doing this, that it would like kind of take off and get his attention.
Yeah.
But I think like the largest video was like 30,000 views, which
Wow.
like to some people, 30,000, and like to me too, 30,000 is a lot. But to get the attention of someone with over 6 million fans,
Yeah.
30,000 views is a drop in the bucket.
Yeah.
So I'm not totally sure if that's what did it. However, his dad, Benson Boone's dad, found me in the audience.
Oh my gosh, really?
He did. So I was standing there cheering and just screaming. And all of a sudden there's this man in a ball cap. And he asked me, did you make the vest? And I was like, oh yes, I made the vest. And I bought the fabric. And, I'm just talking. And he goes, wait. He's like, I'm Benson Boone's dad.
Oh my God.
And my wife and I watched your videos. And he said something like, I'm so excited you got him the vest or something.
Oh,
and I
that
was
is
like,
awesome.
what? You're Benson Boone's dad? Like, so I don't know. Did Benson Boone's parents tell him about me? Or did they just see me amongst the millions of fans and think that's really cool? I don't know.
That is awesome. That is so awesome. Okay, that was just a little tidbit, and we have to add a little bit of suspense here because we want to get to know you as a quilter first. But I promise everyone listening right now, stick with us because the end of this story is so amazing. So before we continue the Benson Boone quilted vest story, Chelsea, let's take a little look back at where you got started. So when do you first remember putting stitch to fabric?
So I don't know if I was 8 or 10, but between those ages is when I started first sewing. And it's all thanks to my grandma Cadman. Oh. She's my inspiration. She's my hero. And she's really where I get a lot of my creative drive. And the very first project we ever made, I still have it actually. It's in my hope chest. but I have the ugliest felt teddy bear you've ever seen. It's so cute. It's adorable. It's ugly. It's wonderful. So we drew a pattern of a teddy bear. It's very simple. It's literally two pieces of felt stitched together.
Yeah.
We sewed buttons for eyeballs and a nose. We hand stitched the teddy bear and stuffed it, and that's my first sewing project.
Oh, that is so great that your grandma had such a creative impact on you early on. And you do so much more than quilting from what I've seen on your Instagram feed. So, what other kind of things do you like to make?
Honestly, I'm a fly by the seat of my pants kind of girl, and whatever I want to do, I just do it.
Oh, that's awesome. That is so great. Well, can you tell us, take it a little step ahead and tell us about your first quilt? Because the majority of the people who listen to this podcast, they're quilters, so they're going to want to know.
Oh, absolutely. So my grandma actually lived, well, she lives close by now, but when I was growing up, we lived in California and she lived in Wyoming. So I didn't have access to her all of the time. So we moved to Utah, so we were a little bit closer. And I want to say I was like 13, maybe 14. And one of my good friends down the street, her mom sews. And I like to sew. I'd been dabbling, but I didn't know anything about quilting.
Yeah.
And I decided for Christmas, I wanted to make my parents a quilt. So I went down to my friend Stacy Bartholomew and I went to her mom and I was like, can you help me make a quilt? And she said yes. She took this girl under her wing and hours and hours of just us making this quilt for my parents. And my mom has it. I need to have her get it out of storage so I can show it off. But I I think it's beautiful, and I also think it's kind of funny because my dad's favorite color is green. My mom's favorite color is purple. So it is a very Barney-esque quilt. It's green, purple, and white. But we did a couple very simple quilt blocks. And then we did a couple just, if I remember right, it's just squares of fabric because I had another idea. I've always been very creative. And so I had this idea of I want to make this quilt, but I want it to be more of a display quilt. And so I went into my family photo albums and I pulled out family photos. I went to Walmart and I got the printable iron-on transfer paper. And she helped me print out my family photos on transfer paper. And so this quilt is quilt blocks, but it's also photos of my family. Oh. And that was the first quilt I made with my neighbor's mom.
Oh, that is so sweet. And if you pull that out of the closet or wherever she's hanging it on a railing and you bring it onto your Instagram feed, I think that's going to go viral. Everybody loves to know your beginning story, right? Where you started.
I've been meaning to get it pulled out, so this is a good reminder to do that.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Okay, so tell us a little bit about your school or your career path that led to quilting.
Okay, nothing. So my grandma got me started when I was young.
Yeah.
And growing up, I'm one of 6 kids. Okay. And there was not a lot of money to be had growing up. And so I had to be very creative with just everything. And so I would rummage through the charity donation bag we had to find things to cut up and make into whatever. And it was just a lot of me messing around, figuring things out, and having fun. I did take a clothing class in 9th grade, I believe. And I got a lot of good foundations from that. I'd already been sewing for a long time, but it just helped me be a better pattern reader and stuff. And so shout out to Miss Crandall, my 9th grade sewing teacher. I did take her class, but the rest of it is just me messing around.
Yeah, and you've got a beautiful family as well. So is this kind of a side gig for you, or are you a full-time professional?
Oh, that's such a good question. So I was a 6th grade teacher for quite a few years, and I left teaching to start my family.
Yeah.
My 3 sons. And it was actually last year, I just started posting and I kind of accidentally fell into this whole sewing influencer, content creator, whatever you want to call it. And so now I'm a full-time mom and a full-time sewing content creator.
Oh, that is so great. And so you kind of just hinted that you kind of fell into it, but was there a defining moment when you thought like, oh my gosh, this went viral or that went crazy. This is my thing. I can do this for a living.
Oh my gosh, yes. I have dabbled in content creation for years and nothing ever really took off. I never really found my niche.
Yeah.
And I was going through a really rough time with my postpartum after my last baby. And it was really struggling. And I decided that so many others were struggling. So I started posting just about my postpartum experience.
Yeah.
And that's when I originally started on TikTok, was that. And I only had like 250 followers and my content was garbage. It wasn't very good. It was just me working through my life experience in that moment.
Yeah.
However, during that time, I love to make my neighbors Christmas gifts. Every year they get a homemade gift from me. And so I made all of them. And then someone asked me, like, can you make that gift? It was bowl cozies, I should say. Like, could you make some bowl cozies for me to give to my neighbors? So I ended up selling like 150 bowl cozies to someone. And I had this thought of, well, it's not about postpartum life, but it's about me being a mom. I'll just post this video about me sewing some bowl cozies. Why not?
Yeah.
Gone. And like, I don't remember the views on that one right now. I'm sure we could go back and find it. But for me, the views, it was insane. And I was like, holy cow. And I'm like, there were a lot of questions and I got a lot of attention. And it probably wasn't actually that many, to be honest, but it was very exciting. And so then I started making more and answering the questions. And next thing you know, I got a ring light and it was like, wait, people want to see sewing? Like, I had no idea. And I've been doing this my whole life. Why didn't I think of this sooner? And that's kind of the moment where it's like, no, like I can do this because this has been a passion of mine since childhood. And my husband said, do it, go for it. And so then it just went off.
So fun. Well, it is so funny that you had to cave in and get a ring light. Like that's quite a milestone, actually. You really are an influencer if you have to have a ring light and you have to, have a space that you're creating every day.
I was like, clean up the area for that side of the room. Don't look at it. I will not show it to you.
That is awesome. Okay, so how would you describe your aesthetic as a quilter, as a maker? What's your jam?
Oh, that is so hard because I am literally all over the board. But I guess I should say, Moda Fabrics. Pretty much, you hand me anything Moda, and I'm gonna adore it. It just pretty much. But then hand in hand, I love Ruby Star, which they're made by the same company.
Yeah.
So it was like, well, go figure. I love Ruby Star. So I do love that more softer, pretty, almost vintagey style. Yeah. But then I also love the fun and power in a Ruby Star. So I that's a hard one for me to answer.
Yeah, and that's okay. I mean, you love what you love, and they are doing some amazing things in the quilting world, especially at QuiltCon. They are having so much fun. So, yeah, it's a great brand to be involved with. If you can do that, that would be a lot of fun.
Oh my gosh, if they slid in my DMs, I would simply faint.
After this wonderful event, you never know. You could probably reach out to them and they'd be like, "Hey, now let's have a talk."
That's true.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so let's take a step out of the story now and ask, where are you living now, and who are your loved ones that you share your world with every day?
Oh, I love to talk about them. So thank you for that question. I live in Utah. So I'm in Utah County. I live here with my husband and my 3 sons, which we've talked about. I have my family and my in-laws a couple towns over. They're about 40 minutes away, and we get to see them quite frequently. So I kind of get to live in this cute little bubble with my friends and family.
Oh, that's great. Okay, let's get into a little bit of biz chat. So your website is chelseabporter.com. What kind of things are we going to find there?
On my website, I have things like cute merch for sewing fans, quilting fans.
Yeah.
I have my affiliate links for all of the products that I have been testing out and, highlighting for people. I know that sometimes it's really hard to get your hands on things, or you're afraid to invest in something. And so I've done the work for you. You can find all those affiliate links there. Also, I have a newsletter there that you can sign up, where I will send all of my deals and stuff to your inbox. And of course, all the links to the various social medias that I'm on.
Yeah, and let's talk about TikTok for a minute because you do something really fun there called a few loose threads. So is that a live thing you do all the time, or what is that?
Oh yeah, a fearless threads is so we haven't really talked much about this, but I'm kind of like an ADHD. I have ADHD,
Yeah.
and I have found that a lot of my friends on social media who are sewists and quilters also have ADHD.
Yeah.
Every Wednesday, I live stream on TikTok for 2 hours.
Wow.
And we have quite a good bunch of like friends from all over the world who get together every week and we just do whatever we want. And we kind of, it was a few months ago, we're like, we like need like a name for us or something. And I'm like, it has to be something with, all of us having ADHD and sewing and a few loose threads was born. So a few loose threads is kind of our, like, I don't know, our community name. We're all have ADHD. We're all creative and we all kind of have some loose threads going on. And so that's where that was born. That's all of my merch says a few loose threads. And that's just our group, our fun group.
Oh, that's so great. So if they're looking for you on TikTok there, what's the handle for that?
TikTok is Chelsea B. Porter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, so this might seem like a silly question, but considering what just happened a few days ago, but is there a quilt or quilt project that's been most memorable for you?
Oh, well, I want to say Benson Boone, obviously. But if we were to step outside of Benson Boone,
Yeah.
I think it would then be the quilt I made my parents.
Yeah.
And then from that, there was a really fun, it's not actually even finished. It's one of my UFOs, and I have a goal to finish it before the end of the year. However, on social media, I did a quilt bingo.
Oh.
And my husband is a software developer and he on my website had bingo cards and I spun a bingo cage and we did a random block every single day. And every single person who got a bingo card, they were marking off what block I made that day. And so over the course of making this quilt, I had so many people win bingo and I had so many, like I had like $2,000 worth of prizes that were gifted to me from various businesses. And I gave away so many prizes for bingo wins. And there was even a big blackout win where it was like a couple $100 gift cards to Michael's and stuff like that. And so that quilt, that one is really special to me because that was one that me and my community did together and everyone was looking forward to it. And it was just so fun. And so that is a very memorable quilt for me. And I need to quilt it on my long arm.
You need to finish it up. You take it out of the UFO pile. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so in your creative practice, what brings you joy?
Oh, just time in here. Oh my gosh, just any time in here that I can get. My husband and we had a flood in our house last year. The 2-year-old at like 5:30 in the morning turned the water on and flooded our whole main floor.
Oh no.
Yeah, we were asleep. It was awful. And we wake up and it's just panic. And, as creatives, the last thing we want to do is box up our space because that's just a nightmare. That's just a nightmare, but it had to be done. My entire room had to be cleared out to get new flooring and fix all the things from the flood. And when I moved everything out, I looked at my husband and I said, honey, it's time. We need to make this a beautiful space for me. And this is before I did the influence, like before I really took off.
Yeah.
And it was all kind of very fortuitous because I was able to make this beautiful space in here. And then I started creating content. And now this is just like my zen. I got this beautiful color. Well, maybe I'm telling you too much, but I have a really fun wallpaper on my
Oh, cool.
And so anytime I can be in here is when I just feel so just calm and excited and happy and at peace.
So great. That's awesome. Okay, so Chelsea, we're going to take a quick break right now, but when we come back, we're going to talk all about your studio space in greater detail. We'll have the lightning round robin, and of course, stick around to the very end because we'll go into crazy detail about Chelsea's Benson Boone quilted vest. We'll be right back. What if shopping for fabric could feel good for your wallet and the planet? Feel Good Fibers is the de-stash marketplace where quilters and sewists discover secondhand fabric treasures. From vintage prints to modern must-haves, you'll find fabrics that spark creativity and make every project special. And when your own stash gets too full, you can easily list what you don't need, giving your fabric a second life and cash back in your pocket. It's sustainable, affordable, and made for makers like you. Shop today at feelgoodfibers.com because the best fabric is the one that's already out there. Something's coming and we're going to have so much fun. Hey friends, it's Brandy here, and I've teamed up with my friend Mel Beach to bring you something brand new for 2026. It's the Fiber Fix, a monthly creative challenge for makers who believe that creating is better together. On the first of each month, we'll drop the Midnight Prompt to inspire you to design and make your own creative fiber art postcard. It's your Fiber Fix, a chance to play, experiment, and stretch your skills, one small, joyful project at a time. We're building a stress-free, creative online family that cheers each other on, shares ideas, and keeps the creative fire burning all year long with 12 playful fiber art challenges. So if you're ready to grow, connect, and get that monthly spark of inspiration, join the FiberFix family today at fiberfixfam.com. It all kicks off on January 1st, 2026. See you there. And we are back with Chelsea B. Porter. Chelsea, tell us about your studio space in greater detail. Where do you create?
Okay, so I'm actually in a little office off of my main area in my home.
Yeah.
And it's perfect because I can kind of see and hear what's going on with my kids just outside the door when I have my niece over watching them so I can get some work done. But it's actually a very small space. The people who've seen it in real life, they go, looking at your space online, it looks a lot bigger than it is. I actually have a really cute little room in here where I got all of my machines and I have a design wall. I guess I should talk about. I have one of those like felt right walls, which I have an affiliate link for that, but it helps with sound and I can lay out all of my quilt blocks on it as I'm in that designing process.
Yeah.
And then I have a lot of storage and my wallpaper ceiling that I already told you about. Oh, something interesting about my space that I didn't think it was interesting, but I found out it's interesting is I actually have a kitchen table as a desk.
Oh.
And I like it because it's a really nice big space and I have a cutting mat that fits it. And so I have a nice big open area to work on.
Yeah, that's great. So kind of does double duty as the cutting space, the quilting space. You can have that whole quilt on there when you're trying to do it under the machine.
Exactly.
But you also have a long arm now. So tell us about that.
Well, because my room is so small, my long arm is in my bedroom.
Oh. So there's no midnight.
My husband loves waking up to it. Let me tell you that.
He does not.
He opens his eyes and there's my long arm. So shout out to Grace Company because it's really beautiful.
Oh, that is hilarious. Okay, tell us, what is your favorite time of day?
Oh, that is so hard. Well, I'm not a morning person, so definitely not morning. Okay. I'm a night owl through and through. So after bedtime, I love spending time with my kids, but bedtime means me time and sewing time.
Oh, that is great. And what's the best thing you do for your own self-care?
I have a really, really amazing supportive friend group. I live on a cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
And we literally lucked out. We are all just the best of friends. We go on girls' trips. I don't watch TV anymore because I'm too busy doing all my duties and this. But once a week, we get together, all the girls, and we'll watch Dancing with the Stars or The Bachelor and just have a great time together. And so that is something that I always make sure to make time for, is that once a week girls' night with my friends, to just make sure that I can stop, disconnect, and pause for a minute.
Yeah, so great. And I think I saw something recently on your Instagram about a Barbie outfit. It was this really cool silk outfit that you were trying to fit to your body and adjust it so that it fit properly. So was that with that group of gals?
Yes, we just had our girls' trip and one of the nights was Barbie night and I had the perfect outfit, but it did not fit me perfect. So naturally we we fixed it up right before I left.
Oh, fun, fun. Okay, so now it's time for the lightning round robin. It's a series of rapid fire questions and it's super fun. Are you ready?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay, so what's your favorite tool or notion?
Ooh, my favorite tool or notion has got to be my Oliso project iron. I
Amazing.
love this thing. That's probably got to be that.
Yeah, and you have the Tula pink one. That is awesome.
Oh, it got to.
Yeah. Okay, so what triggers inspiration for you?
Oh, honestly, everything. It's so we talked about I have ADHD and my brain it just takes off. And so it could be a song, it could be a show, it could be a sign, it could be my children, but inspiration, I don't know. I say practice creativity every day and creativity finds you.
Ah, that's a good one. That's a good one. You're kind of like an omni crafter, like you love all things and you'll try anything.
Oh yes.
Great time. Awesome. How many UFOs do you have going on at once in your studio?
There's probably I probably have 10 right now.
That's not too bad. That's not too bad.
No, but it feels bad.
What motivates you to get out of bed in the morning?
Oh, my boys, 100%. My world revolves around those three little guys.
Aw. What's a skill you'd still love to learn?
Oh my gosh. I have always wanted to learn how to do stained glass.
Mm. Oh,
Yeah, stained glass.
yeah, that is a cool craft. But it's kind of pricey to get into, right? There's a bit
Oh,
of a barrier there. Yeah.
for sure. And my husband's like, you got to stop collecting hobbies. And I'm like, yeah,
Well,
we'll just buy fabric instead.
yeah. I'm so afraid to really get into pottery classes and things like that because I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have a kiln next week if I do that. So you got to be careful sometimes, right? Okay. Do you have any favorite collections of any kind in your home?
Okay, so I am a massive Harry Potter fan,
Oh,
like massive. And so I have a lot of Harry Potter things. I've been to all the locations, the studio in England, all the things.
oh,
And so I have things, how like in Disneyland, they have like hidden Mickeys where they're like Mickey Mouse heads hidden everywhere.
yeah.
In my house, I have something that I call hidden Harrys. I have
Okay.
little Harry Potter things. Just if you know, and they're just spread throughout my house.
Oh, that's fun. Okay, so what is your proudest accomplishment?
Oh my gosh. I know it sounds kind of cliche, but it's got to be my husband and my boys. I'm so, I'm a very proud mom and a very proud wife, and it's got to be them.
Okay, and one more question. Do you have any furry friends in your studio?
Oh yes. We have my cat. My followers like to call her my project manager.
Yeah.
But she constantly just like was micromanaging me. She's just like, you didn't do that right, or whatever. Anyway, her name's Cosmo, and she's a stray that we rescued right before we got married. And she's been the best thing ever.
Aw, Cosmo. That's fun. Okay, so thank you for braving the lightning round, Robin. That was super fun. Now we are getting back to the Benson Boone and the viral quilted vest story. So let's go back to the concert night. So you got floor tickets, which already feels like fate, right? You decided to make the vest. Did you get the tickets and then tell the world that you were about your idea, or what happened first?
Yes. So it's all coming back to me. It's kind of a funny story how I got these floor tickets, to be honest, because it all it feels very like what is the word like serendipitous or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
But my friend bought tickets for her family,
Mhm.
and she's like, I want to be up close. It's gonna be great. And she bought 5 tickets. Okay, well then she got the tickets in her inbox and realized that they were floor tickets, standing only. And
Oh.
she's like, I'm not taking my 5-year-old and my 1-year-old to stand at the Benson Boone concert.
No.
And she didn't tell, like, she didn't realize, anywho. So, and her husband was like, we can't do that.
Yeah.
So then she sends out a text to the girls group saying, I have these tickets. Who's coming with me? And that's when we were like, well, we have to go.
Yeah.
And so it all kind of fell into my lap. So
Yeah.
the tickets came, and then it was like what I say. And I'm like, well, if we're going to be right there by the stage, why not full send it and try to get something to him?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, and we have to give a little shout out to somebody. I don't know who, but who did all this filming of you when the moments were happening?
Oh my gosh, that's my other friend. Okay, so Amanda is my friend who secured the tickets for us.
Yeah.
Diana, she's the one, she told me I had signs for us to hold up and we were doing everything. And Diana says, Chelsea, I don't want you to be stressed about this. You focus on that vest and getting his attention. I will film. I do not want you to stress. So a huge shout out to my friend Diana, who she did what I needed.
That is a good friend. Those are both good friends, I'm telling you. Okay, so tell us what it was like walking into that concert, holding the vest, your heart pounding, hoping he might notice. What were you thinking at the time?
So it's kind of an out there vest. And on a regular, everyday person, I got a lot of looks because I was wearing it.
Yeah.
And people are like looking at me, and I kind of can see it in their face. And they're like, she's either someone I should know or she's real weird. They couldn't decide which side of the spectrum I was on. So there was a lot of fun, anxious energy. I was so anxious that I was like giddy, like just fidgety and anxious to get him and to get his attention.
Yeah, and your outfit was so gorgeous. It was these beautiful where do you even find something like that? It was
Oh
perfect
my,
for the vest and perfect for the event.
thank you. So my friends and I were like, well, we got to dress up. Benson looks amazing. We have to match. And
Yeah.
so I actually found them on Amazon.
So
And where I find a lot of these fun, cute little deals. So that was actually an Amazon outfit.
that was awesome. And if you're listening right now, you have to go to the Instagram feed and look at this outfit. It's so perfect. It is just like, you know how Benson Boone dresses? He wears these really cool clothes. He's famous for the onesie kind of suit, the jumpsuit type of thing, and flipping off of pianos and stuff. But that outfit, Chelsea, was perfect. I just loved it.
Thank you so much.
When it was happening, when you were holding the vest and you're screaming at him and he's walking back, do you remember like, was it all a blur? Or do you remember the song that was happening, or was he in between songs? What happened there?
Yeah. Okay. So that's he was in between songs. What had happened? It was actually very important about the timing of the song. It was anyhow. Let me just get into it.
Get into it.
So his friend came out with a t-shirt gun. So I don't know if you guys know this, but Benson Boone, each concert, he's been doing like a surprise song, and
Yeah.
no one knows what it is until he's about to perform it.
Yeah.
So he brought out this childhood friend of his with a t-shirt gun, and this guy shot a t-shirt into the audience, and the t-shirt said that he was singing Alicia Keys. And so everyone's freaking out. We're all excited. Benson Boone starts walking over towards where I am. And part of the reason I stood where I stood is because I saw a crew member put a water bottle down on a spot. And I said, I need to be close to that water bottle because he's going to go take a drink from that.
Good
And
plan.
sure enough, he walked right to that water bottle. And I know he saw me earlier in the show. I just was like, it just wasn't right when he saw me.
Yeah.
And so then it was like, he got there, he got his water bottle, and you could like see it on his face. He's like, it's time. And so then he was like his little, and that is when I blacked out.
Oh,
that is when everyone's like, how did you throw that? How, like, watch the clip. Like, how did you get it to him? And I'm like, I don't know. It just happened. It was perfect. And then I came back to, and he was singing Alicia Keys. And it's a very important for me and my social media and everything, because that song, he goes viral, but these songs, these specialty songs really go viral because everyone wants to know what it is. So it was incredible that during that Alicia Keys performance, he was wearing my vest.
Wow, that is
like I have like chills just thinking about it.
Well, I am so excited that you were surrounded by your friends. They got the whole thing on film. He actually did more. When he picked it up, looked at it, and actually put it on, you were literally having a meltdown. Like I watched it 100. I can't even stop watching it. I keep watching it over and over again. And my husband's like, "Are you watching the same thing over and over again?" I'm like, "Yes, it just gives you this rush."
Fine.
It's so exciting. But he didn't just wear it. He talked to you about it as well. He announced you were a quilter and thanked you right there in front of everyone. So what did it feel like having him directly have a conversation with you in front of, I don't know, a bajillion people?
It was absolutely insane. And the fact, like you said, the fact that he said quilter, I was like, usually someone would be like, did you crochet this? Like, no, I crochet. So no hate to crocheting. But like
Exactly.
the fact that you knew the word quilting, I was like, I could die right now. Like, okay, like that, fabulous. And it made me feel so proud. It made me feel so seen. And I knew that the quilting community was going to go nuts.
Yeah.
And they did.
They are. They still are going nuts. Chelsea, this was a moment in history for the quilting world. As professional quilters, we've all heard people say, "What do you mean you're a quilter? What do you mean for a living? Like what?" This is validation on the world stage. Well done, Chelsea Porter. This is so awesome. I can only imagine. The crowd must have gone wild. What was the energy in the room when you threw that vest and he started putting it on?
Oh my gosh, everyone absolutely lost it. And I don't know if they lost it because my vest was awesome. I'd like to think it was. I think they were more screaming that I got him to take his vest off and strip a little bit for them, to be honest. But
True.
it was really for my vest.
Yeah, that
But
crowd
everyone,
went wild.
oh, they absolutely did. And the thing is, kind of like what you're saying, he didn't just get it. He didn't just put it on. He performed in it. And in addition to that, he like did a catwalk in it. He spun around checking himself out. Like, that's what this looks like. That's so sick. And he did his iconic flips in it. And like he really took the time to appreciate it, to
Yeah.
like validate me and thank me. And then to like top it all off at the end, he sought me out. He literally jumped off of the stage searching for me. And then he gave me the best hug. So he really, him just taking the vest meant the world to me. But then what came after, like, I don't even have words for how amazing it was.
He totally loved it. And he said it out loud. I love this. And he struck a pose. Was he like on top of a piano when he struck the pose?
Top of the piano on top of a stage, launching for the whole world, absolutely like checking himself out. It was amazing.
It was so awesome. So he came down and I saw him jump in the videos down into the crowd looking for you. And he literally, the moment he saw your face, he was just like pointing at you. And oh my gosh, he gave you a hug. Were the people around you like absolutely having fits? What was happening in your
Oh
head when
yeah.
he was hugging
So
you?
earlier on, I had told them because I'm like, they're like, I like your vest. And I'm like, thank you. I need your help to get it to him. So like I kind of rallied the troops and they all wanted me to do it because that means he'd be right by them.
Yeah,
And so the whole night, there were a bunch of kids really and their moms.
yeah.
They were helping me and cheering on. There was this one kid, he probably was like 16 or something, this boy. And I was shouting, trying to get his attention, and he knew I wasn't loud enough. So then he started like, and it was just like,
Oh,
oh. And then in one of the clips, the hug,
yeah.
you can see there's this mom right to the side of me, and you can just see like almost like the pride on her face, the excitement for me. And it's like it wasn't even for her. It was like, I don't know, it just felt like very motherly. And I when I watched that clip, I really like to look at her and her just like, oh, like this is happening. So I really love that.
Oh, that is so sweet. Okay, so let's come back down to earth a little bit after the concert ended and the videos started to go crazy. The quilters started to catch on. How fast did things take off?
Oh my gosh, they haven't stopped. They really haven't stopped. So the first video instantly took off.
Yeah.
It's sitting right now at like 1.4, 1.5 million views.
Wow.
However, that one I posted the moment it happened. I didn't edit it. I
Yeah.
just click post. There's even background music on it, like this really pretty piano. I didn't know that was on there. I like after the fact, I watched the video and I was like, where did that come from? TikTok put it on. And I was like, well, thank goodness it wasn't some like screamo or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. So then the next day I took some time and I kind of edited it just a little bit and
Yeah.
posted it again. And that video has actually eclipsed the other one, and it has passed 4 million views, and it's still climbing. So
Oh my gosh.
the quilters are doing their work.
Yeah.
and the Benson Boone fans.
Yeah. Oh, that is so sweet. Well, I saw it instantly. I was so excited to be able to reach out to you. Has there been other people who have reached out to you to say, I want to connect, I want to do this? What else is happening?
Oh my goodness. Today alone, I had so there's the local news network is here is called KSL.
Yeah.
I did an interview with them and they featured me at 5:30 in the morning. Then
Oh,
I did a live interview at noon. I was on the radio today. We're here now. My inbox, I had true fruit. I like that chocolate covered fruit. They reached out to me like, we're gonna send you some. And I'm like, sure.
oh, that's
My
awesome.
inbox is I need to go through it. I need to go through it.
Oh, that is so exciting. Well, you are going to have a lot of fun over the next few weeks, months, even years. I'm so excited that you're getting messages, comments, the opportunities. Hopefully, they'll just keep rolling in. So, looking back, it's only been a few days. How has this moment kind of changed your confidence or your creative journey as a maker?
Wow. I There's two feelings here. There is a massive imposter syndrome setting in for me.
Yeah.
And like that's the honest truth of it all is I'm feeling a bit like an imposter because I am not like I don't know. I'm just me sewing and doing what I love. I'm not
Yeah.
perfect and I'm not, my seams aren't always exactly how they should be. And so there's a little bit of that. But on the flip side, there is a lot of confidence and a lot of excitement and a lot of empowerment and motivation. I'm feeling like my battery is just recharged and ready to get right back at it and like what am I going to do next? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. What is next? What's something you're dreaming about to do in the future?
Okay, so I didn't have a plan. Okay, Benson Boone was the plan, and like everyone's been asking me, what's next? And
Yeah.
there's part of me that wants to be like, was Benson Boone not great enough? Like it feels like we should just close up shop and be done. However, no one likes that answer. And I've been thinking about it, and I had this thought. Was it last 2 nights ago? I was up till 3 in the morning. When I tell you I haven't slept, I literally haven't slept because my brain won't let me. I'm too excited. Everything's happening. I stayed up till 3 in the morning. I have a plan, and I'm gonna make it happen, just like I made Benson happen. Okay, with my 7 seconds of fame.
Yeah.
I am trying to get onto the Drew Barrymore show.
Oh my gosh, that would be so awesome.
I am obsessed with Drew Barrymore.
Oh,
She, her movie Never Been Kissed.
yeah.
That one, I watched it as a child, but I've rewatched it so many times, and her character in there really resonates with me. I have a long story and background of being bullied and trying to find my place in the world, and there's a lot that goes into what became me and how I'm something that a lot of people talk to me about is how they like how authentic I am. And I think part of the reason I'm as authentic as I am is because of what I've been through and what I have decided to do in spite of it all.
Yeah.
And so I'm making this way longer than it needs to be. Sorry.
Okay. We want you
But
to get on that show.
yes. However, I really resonate with Josie Geller from Never Been Kissed. And so I have decided that with my 7 seconds of fame, I am going to try and get on the Drew Barrymore show. And so what I am doing is I literally, in between the break of all of the interviews today, I went to one of my favorite quilt shops, Harmony, which they do sell online. And I do have a discount code for anyone who wants to buy fabric from them. But you can check my website. I went to Harmony today and I picked out fabric for my Josie Geller quilted coat that I'm going to be making for Drew Barrymore. And I need everyone's help once again to make this happen. Do you want to see the fabric?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. So the lining of this fabric, I'm going to try and make the coat reversible.
Oh,
So I have this beautiful like fuchsia corduroy.
yeah.
That's going to be the inside, but also the outside. Um, Here are all of my fabrics. So there's this image that you could probably find of Josie Geller, and she's in this sheer top with a flower on it and this fuchsia cardigan. And that is the inspiration behind these colors.
Oh.
And I'm also, because I'm doing, because it's going to be reversible, I'm going to bind all of my seams with this Ruby Star Starry binding. And so anyway, this is my next manifestation.
Awesome. Well, this sounds like so much fun. You've done it once, you can do it again.
Why not?
Drew Barrymore, if you're listening right now, you got to have Chelsea Porter on your show. This will be so much fun. So before we go, I want to mention your Facebook page. It's called A Few Loose Threads. And also, I want to chat a bit about your Instagram feed because that is Chelsea underscore B underscore Porter. You have something like 56,000 followers, which is amazing. So, what kind of content do you love to post there besides this whole wonderful thing with Benson Boone?
Oh, I love when I'm posting, I mostly try to do things that either teach,
Yeah.
inspire, or entertain.
Yeah.
And so it's just kind of a combination of all those things. So I love doing tips and tricks. I love showing tools and notions and all the things. And I like to do things just because they're fun. And so that's a kind of, you'll just find a mix of all of those things on my page.
Yeah, and I just have to mention because you're being kind of humble here. You are absolutely hilarious. Like I was scrolling before, after I was like looking at all these videos, but I kept going down, down, down. And I mean, I saw things that were so hilarious. You were talking about your feet at one point in the video, and I was laughing so hard I couldn't even watch the rest of the video. So you are really, really super funny, and it's a lot of fun to pour through your feed. So remember, if you're listening right now to this podcast, you know I always say search out and follow my guests. Why not fill your feed with the creators that you love, right? So now, as we wrap up, Chelsea, what do you want people to take away most from our conversation today?
I want people to take away from this that if like you dream it, you can do it. I want people to go for it. You know, maybe your dream isn't to get something you made to a celebrity, but I want people to know that if they want to do something, they can do it. They can pick it up and they can do it. I have learned to do all of these things just from YouTube and practice and whatever. If I can do it, literally anyone can do it. And so don't let fear or doubt stop you from doing whatever it is you want to do.
Oh, that's such a great message. When there is fear, that's when you need to go forward, right? Such a great message to end with. Chelsea, it's been such a thrill to have you on the show. Thank you for sharing your viral Benson Boone story with us today.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you so much for inviting me. This has been so fun.
So that was my show with Chelsea Porter. Wasn't that incredible? I mean, this story is such a powerful reminder that creativity has no limits and that sometimes one bold project can make a dream come true and spread good vibes far and wide across the internet. One thing I loved most about Chelsea is that she had this incredible idea. She put it out to the world and then she never backed down. She had 100% faith. She was all in and she made it happen. It's like that Oprah Winfrey quote, luck is preparation meeting the moment of opportunity. Chelsea Porter and Benson Boone had a little moment in quilting history that no one is going to forget. If you love this conversation, make sure you subscribe to Quilter on Fire on YouTube because trust me, you're going to want to see the joy and sparkle in this episode. And if you're listening on the podcast, take a moment to rate, review, and share it with a friend who needs a little creative fire in their day. Thank you for tuning in to this special bonus episode. Today, I loved sharing the story of Chelsea B. Porter and the Benson Boone quilted vest with you. I'll see you next Tuesday for another inspiring story right here on the Quilter on Fire podcast.